trails that wind through tall trees. No doubt about it, Nanaimo has some of the most beautiful places to walk. But long before the forest here on Vancouver Island, it was a whole different reality. Director and curator of the Vancouver Island Paleontology Museum, Graham Beard, says the evidence that gives us a glimpse of what it was like here 70 million years ago is abundant.
Vancouver Island is incredibly rich with fossils. We're getting an amazing mixture of marine and terrestrial fossils. So it's a very important place for the study of fossils.
Fossils paint a picture of a history long before human documentation. Today we walk Mount Benson Creek Falls Park, a known hotspot for fossils on Vancouver Island. But you have to know what you're looking for.
A lot of the fossils are found in concretions, and very often we'll find a little concretion like this, which is a perfect little sphere. Okay. And here's one that I found right from this location, and when I popped it open, you can see there's a gorgeous little shark's tooth in the center.
Graham brought these examples of fossils found in the same area just outside this park, including one of the most rare finds.
When it popped open, in there is a dinosaur bone. And
wow.
Dinosaur bones, as far as I know, there's only been 2 ever found on Vancouver and the surrounding islands.
Another rare find was discovered in only 2012, right here in this park, when a couple of hikers made their way down this steep terrain to the riverbed at the bottom. Though they didn't find the actual fossil, a mold in the rock where the fossil formed revealed an extremely large ammonite.
Can you imagine an animal with an external shell and a beak like a parrot and tentacles crawling around on the seabed here about 70 million years ago? We're getting pretty close to the site now, Kelly, and if there was less bush down there, we'd actually be able to see where the ammonite is, just down there.
As we make our way down the steep decline, we reached a point where I realized wearing boots would have been a good idea.
So,
how are you for the ride back on the way up the hills?
Oh.
Apparently, it's even rougher terrain getting to Ammonite Falls that are also in this area, where smaller scale ammonites are a more common find. Graham brought some examples of these from his collection.
This is one where you still could see the external shell, but here's one that I've cut.
These fossils are part of a collection of thousands that Graham has found over the past 50 years. A fascinating hobby, but there is a proper protocol to follow after a find.
There's new legislation now that if you go out collecting fossils, you do not own them. They belong to the province, and you're just the custodian of those fossils. And you're expected to take care of them and document carefully where they were found. And the new legislation also states that you cannot take a fossil out of the province, and you cannot sell a fossil. Very often you can find something that's very scientifically important, and that should be studied by the appropriate paleontologists, or at least be donated to a museum where they can be studied. So here we are.
Wow.
There is the gorgeous ammonite.
Wow.
Hard to imagine that there were shelled animals like that living here 70 million years ago. Yeah. And we're actually standing on an ancient seabed.
Yeah. Hard to believe.
Yeah, just amazing.
Definitely a spectacular sight to see. Kind of makes you wonder, what else is buried around here? In Nanaimo, I'm Kelly Robinson.